Man, it's meant to be. You know what I mean? I think this fight is meant to happen. I think this is how I'm meant to win the title. I'm meant to do this in this fashion, you know. And like I said, I know the task ahead of me. I know it ain't going to be easy, but you know, the harder the task, the excited I get. You know, like I always said, Paro performs under pressure, and I believe we'll see that in June.
Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well. Thanks for tuning in. As always, shout out to all the subscribers. Big up to anyone new. Gratitude to you. Let's talk about Liam Paro, because he is sounding very confident in the lead up to this amazing fight between him and Subriel Matias in Puerto Rico, June 15th. I wouldn't expect anything less from Paro. He's a very, very, very confident young man. He's had a couple of good wins lately. He's undefeated, and he's just got a lot of self-belief, which is what you really, that's a prerequisite to fighting Subriel Matias, is you have to have a major amount of self-belief. And Liam Paro has that. As I said, he's undefeated, but like I think personally, I want to touch on something that I think about his physique, which he's like, it reminds, he's like a consummate professional, right? It looks like he's gotten a little stuck in, a little bit more muscular over the years. Now, he's been at 140 for his whole career, but I'll pull some clips up because I'd love to get your guys' opinion, whether it's just me not gauging it properly, or maybe the angle, but it looks to me like he's just a little bit more sturdy, a little bit tighter, and just a little bit stronger, you know, as he's I'll pull up a clip from a few years ago. I'll believe what date the clips were. I'll pull up a clip from the Montana Love fight and a few years ago, and to me that just suggests he's just been harder in the gym, being more professional with his weight, and managing, you know, just staying at 140 and just being a professional, living the life is where I'm going with this. I see him being like, just, I don't know what they're feeding these Australian boxers right now, but him, Tim Tszyu, Jael Bataya, I mean, they are on a different level mentally. They are animals, and Liam Paro, like I said, he's going to need that. But to me, his physique and how he treats himself is a testament to a professional boxer, and I've got a lot of respect for that. And as I said, that's what you need to start with if you're going to fight Subriel Matias. But, you know, it's a tough ask, do you know what I mean? But he sounds really confident. He even said he was excited for the opportunity, which
I was excited. You know what I mean? I've always wanted a world title. This is my shot, and who better than to against the so-called boogeyman of the division? You know, everyone's running scared of this guy, and I've always said I'll fight anyone, any place, any time. So I'm taking him on in his hometown, in his home country of Puerto Rico. And, man, I believe I can shock the world.
You know, I believe him. I think he's generally excited to fight Matias. I mean, that's a crazy prospect, given that Matias has basically made... I mean, he goes back as far as saying the last 9 people quit. It's been the last 5 for sure. And, you know, he just breaks fighters down. I just made a video on his punch technique, actually, a scientific look at his punch technique, where I talk about, you know, where he gets the power from, which I'm not totally sure exactly where he gets it all from, because power's a bit of a mystery. But I do explain my thoughts on what might be happening. But in terms of that fight, and also I was watching Mill City earlier, an interview with him and Breadman, and there was some comments on the side that were saying that the fight is almost sold out. I don't know how true that is, but I wouldn't be surprised. That's going to be a massive event, and I'm going to cover that quite deeply as we get closer to June. I'll do a full fight breakdown, maybe an extravagant film study. I want to really follow the fighters closely. I'm going to watch a bit more of Paro. I have seen quite a bit of him, but I want to really go deeper and see what his clinch game is like, because that is probably the most important thing to deal with when you are fighting Subriel Matias. Because look, Paro, he's a southpaw, he's stocky, as I mentioned, he's got a low center of gravity, he can box, he's a tidy boxer, he looks physically strong. But, you know, he can punch a little bit, but I don't think he can punch hard enough to keep Matias off of him. If you look at, I'll show this clip of where Ergashev, who can really punch, hit Matias straight in the face and his shoulders were pushed all the way through. When you're punching and your shoulder goes from one side right the way through, you get maximum power, and you keep a straight punch like that, You keep your opponent at the end of your punch. That is a great technique that Ergashev displayed. It hit Matias bang on the chin, and he barely flinched. And I know people might say, well, Ergashev has knocked out a bunch of nobodies. I know. But I still know that he can crack, because it's quite obvious he can punch. When he knocks guys out, he really knocks them out. He can definitely punch. And Matias has taken loads of hard shots and just comes walking through. Djukenbaev can punch a little bit. Actually, him and Djukenbaev and Paro have got some similarities. Some, you know, they're obviously both southpaws, but that southpaw killer that Djukenbaev was catching Matias with a lot will be an important punch for Paro.
A bit of support. Yeah, right on, but what happened? He was able to get to that mentally. Some guys keep space. There's a shot connecting shots. There's a as you're getting Chiku for a 37. Coming on here and dig forward. Now there's Flash Hour, and that's another fly. But now Mbayev though unloading. There's a straight left, a couple of big straight lefts. Oh, and now Matias might be hurt.
All right, but ultimately it's what happens when you get in the trenches, okay? Because Paro's going to be in great shape. No two ways about that. So is Matias. It's shutting those short shots down on the inside with a good clinch game. Or like, you know, I think a mistake a lot of fighters make is they just try to fight back, and being that Matias is so heavy-handed on shot and can whip off these really unorthodox, like hard shots close up at weird angles too, with a different rhythm as well. I spoke about that in that video. That you're going to be on the losing end if you try to, you know, fight him on the inside. So I think you have to box him. You have to use your footwork. You have to use your IQ. You know, use your jab, use the ring, and, you know, let off your clean power shots when you can. But you got to be able to clinch him when you can. And Matias is very strong, you know. So that for me, I need to look at a bit more film to see if Paro's been able to hold people off with clinches and actually, you know, get people under control. Because if you don't have Matias under control, no one's able to do it. He can reel off punches from basically anywhere. But I think what you'd have to do, you'd have to just shut him down and clinch him, and it would be a bit ugly. You might get a point deducted from you eventually if you do it too much. But he's not going to stop coming. He's not going to stop walking you down and trying to break you down and take your soul, because that's what he does. But Paro sounds immensely confident, and I love that about him, because, like I said, that's the prerequisite you need to fight Subriel Matias. You need a positive, confident mindset, and you need that steel mentality, which I think Paro has. But you need smarts too, you know. You need to be intelligent, and you need to be able to box, and you need to be in great shape. You need to be able to take a shot. You need to do so many things just to make it to the final bell, I think, personally. You know, I think we're going to get a great fight. I will do, like I said, a deeper dive when the time comes in May, June, you know, May and June. But, you know, I like Paro, I do, but I really do think he's gonna, you know, succumb to Matias's pressure and that pressure from the inside, and he's probably gonna have to try and fight him on the inside. He might get tired, and Matias, as I said before, you know, it gives him a thrill. It's a sadistic way. Him and Benavidez and Beterbiev, it gives him thrills. You know, Tim Tszyu as well. All these. I actually made a video about pressure fighting, and I spoke about that and the different styles. And those guys get thrill off you know, succumbing to the pain, basically. And it's going to be a rough fight, whatever happens. You know, may the best man win. I hope both guys come out the ring healthy. I know Matias has been really hurting guys, you know. So, but Paro's he's not scared at all. He's not going to be intimidated whatsoever. But, you know, I do think he's going to have an issue keeping Matias off of him. One, because he doesn't punch hard enough. I know he's got respectable power. I know he has been stopping guys lately. I get it. I know that.
Jarvis on the inside. He cups one around. Paro goes 1, 2, and 5. Down goes Brock Jarvis. And he's lost the shot.
Love was disrespectful with the fighter moving.
Oh! Defensive skills here from Love.
But Matias is a different animal. He's got a great chin, and he's got that rugged, dogged determination. And you know, like I said, the clinch situation is going to be where you can really beat Matias. And I've like long thought Haney has a chance. I know there's some people in the comments. Shout out to you guys. We were chopping it up, and I was like, you know, I think I've long said I think Haney's got the best chance to beat Matias. I think he's got one of the best jabs in the game. He has got a good clinch game, but will it be good enough for Matias? He's probably not anywhere near as strong as Matias. So would he be able to, like, you know, what happens when Matias starts making him fight and Devin Haney has to fight? But I still like Haney's chances. I really do. I don't know. I'd have to look at it a bit more. I want to see just how strong he is in the clinches, because Matias is got some freakish, unorthodox strength. You know, the way he's able to reel those shots off, and the way he's able to just manage the power, and he's so heavy-handed. You can't afford to take shots close up like that, because you're going to get hurt. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Peace and love to all. Loads of videos on the way, and shout out to all the subscribers. And also, thank you to anyone. I'm up to 3,000. We're up to 3,000 subs, and you know, onwards and upwards. I really appreciate anyone that's tuned in, watched, liked, didn't like, commented, all of it. It's all love. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Do you need to knock him out in Puerto Rico?
Look, people are saying that, but I believe I can put on that much of a boxing clinic that it's going to be my fight. We're going to have to face adversity, but nothing good comes easy. And look, we're just going to take it as it is, you know. I believe I've got the skills to box him. I believe if I catch him with a shot, I am going to hurt him, like I have in my last 2 fights. You know, people underestimate my power until they get whacked by it, and it's too late. They're peeling themselves off the canvas. So